Hello, I'm Redwater and welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about Shigurui Death Frenzy. It's an anime produced by Madhouse Studios. The anime was released in 2007, but recently for my sister's birthday I watched the first 3 episodes with her and my little cousin, after which I continued and finished the series. This is that review. Okay, so this anime is, to say it will be boring would kind of be an understatement. Though there are a lot of moving pieces, there's a lot of death, blood, and sex, so you know it's already a top tier anime with only 12 episodes. Our story follows two main characters. One is a one-armed swordsman, while the other is a blind and crippled samurai, as the anime tells us how our characters came to be the way that they are in present day. Genosuke Fujiki is a one-armed samurai and the top student of the Kogan style. It's speculated he's most likely to be the successor. It's noted that even though he only has one arm, he's made up for this by working on the muscles in his back. Seigen Iriko, a rogue samurai who seeks to raise his status by use of the Kogan style. Through natural talent, he's able to surpass Fujiki and was originally chosen to be the successor before being punished and blinded by the Kogan. Ushimata, second in command, and most likely the strongest in the dojo physically speaking, as his signature weapon is a large wooden sword. Kogan Iwamoto, the master of the Kogan Ryu style. He's feared all throughout the land and has an extra finger on his right hand. His signature move is the Nagaraboshi, which translates to shooting star. Throughout the anime, he enters these moments of mental instability, and he's most sane from fall to winter. His students have to take care of him while he's in this state, as he's incapable of doing anything for himself. Mei Iwamoto, the daughter of Kogan Iwamoto, her dad doesn't respect her at all and only sees her as a vessel to carry the successor of the Kogan style. She actually has to go through some pretty rough shit throughout the anime. Lady Iku is the concubine of Master Kogan. She is taunted by the children and people run in fear of her presence, as her past lovers have died and she is believed to be cursed. The anime starts with Fujiki and Iriko about to fight, as samurai from all over are to compete in a tournament where they are to use real swords. Before the battle starts, we're thrust into the past so that we can understand our present. We see Fujiki with both of his arms and Iriko with his sight and walking. He ends up challenging the Kogan dojo and losing, only to eventually join to learn the Kogan style, and its secrets, plotting to rule it as its successor. A ceremony is held to induct Iriko into the dojo, where we see Master Kogan Iwamoto for the first time in his demented state. He snaps out of it momentarily to cut a bean in fourths on Iriko's forehead and piss on the floor. Iriko is busy with all the women, while Fujiki is busy training after his loss to Iriko. Master Kogan snaps into his conscious state and gives Fujiki and Iriko a task to complete to determine who will be the successor of the Kogan style. He orders them to bring him the heads of Funaki's twin sons. Now, the relationship that the Funaki brothers have is very special, but you can watch the anime to find that out. They end up defeating the brothers and bringing their faces back as was tasked of them. Iriko ends up meeting Iku, Kogan's concubine, at the bathhouse, while Fujiki tends to the master's sword. Iriko is warned by Ushimata not to see the mistress anymore, as Iriko agrees to this. Kogan declares Iriko as the successor, and he orders Mei and Iriko to conceive immediately in front of everyone. Right there, in front of her father and everyone in the dojo. Iriko begs Kogan for privacy, as he states Mei will take her own life and reject him if he forces himself on her now. Kogan agrees, and Iriko leaves to see Lady Iku again and practice the secret technique that was used on him during the bean ceremony on Lady Iku, using her fucking nipple and a grain of rice. Since Iriko comes to her rescue, we begin to see Mei fantasize about him more often. Fujiki ends up coming with a new style all his own, while Iriko explains to Iku that he can't be with her anymore. This is crazy. She gives him this heartfelt speech, and he falls asleep. He didn't hear shit she said. Fujiki practices his new technique, while Iriko visits his mother, who we see was a whore. Iku is disgusted by the master now that she's been with Iriko. Since she thinks Iriko loves her, she actually makes an attempt on the master's life, which is fucking hilarious to me. And as punishment, the master cuts off the nipple that Iriko was using to practice the secret technique on. Iriko kills his mom, fucking livid, and Fujiki tells him that he's been summoned to supposedly learn the secret technique. They end up beating the shit out of Iriko and blinding him and leaving him to die. After Iriko's punishment, Mei stops eating and speaking. Some time passes and we see Ronin Samurai talking down to the Kogan style. As a new student, Suzuki promptly decapitates him for his disrespect, which prompts a fight between the Kogan and Ronin Samurai. They meet to fight as Fujiki beats all of them without using a sword. The next day, Suzuki is murdered and his body is discovered. A funeral is held the same day. Those at the Kogan discuss what's happened and how to keep face as they agree to kill a random samurai and blame him for the murders to show that those of the Kogan style act swiftly. Mutakawa, that's the apprentice with all the scars on his face, kills the chosen killer for the murder, and while on his way back, Mutakawa is murdered by the real killer. The wide-eyed apprentice, this one, of the Kogan style, mourns Suzuki, and if you can even call that mourning, because he's slurping himself off in the bushes. Thank goodness, though, the murderer comes and kills him. We see Mei take her father's sword, and he commands his pupils to return it at any cost, instructing them to take Mei's life if necessary. Fujiki retrieves the sword and Mei. Fujiki tells Ushimata that he believes Iriko is the murderer, while Ushimata disputes this, saying that because Iriko is blind, he can't wield a sword, and in order to debunk this, they visit the Zato, a blind people, in search of Iriko. Another apprentice of the Kogan style is murdered in a bathhouse. We see one apprentice, Okitsu, had snitched on the others, causing their deaths. Fujiki kills him, as we see Mei taking better care of herself for Iriko. Master Kogan is furious at the betrayal of his apprentice. He grills and questions Ushimata and Fujiki. Master Kogan is summoned to the Kengyo's house to look over a Spanish blade. Kogan does as he is asked and tells Kengyo that the sword is useless as it can't cut. Kengyo asks that Fujiki show Sekyun real swordplay, saying that the match is just for fun. As they try to hand the bokken to Fujiki, Kogan takes it instead, explaining since it's for fun, he will take Fujiki's place, as Fujiki doesn't know how to have fun. Iku and Iriko appear as the match begins. Kogan beats the fuck out of Sensekyun, only using his hands. After his loss, he attacks Kengyo, as his parents abandoned him because he couldn't understand the loyalty a samurai has for his master. Sensekyun is killed, as Kogan has sake with Kengyo. We see Iku next to him as she's upgraded from Kogan. Iriko talks with Ushimata and Fujiki. He throws sake in his face as Ushimata asks if they plan to have the master killed during that practice battle, where Iriko admits that Fujiki was the target, not Master Kogan. Ushimata is visiting every dojo to show them the strength of the Kogan style. Master Kogan throws a hissy fit because somebody else has Iku. We see Fujiki has a fight against 3 Ronin samurai. Kengyo tells his story to Iriko and how he always wanted to try martial arts, but he praises Iriko for his skills as a blind man. We see what happened to Iriko and Iku after Iriko's banishment and how his certain victory stance was created. Ushimata is stopped by Kengyo's men, in which he defeats all of them. However, one of his opponents ends up wounding him due to the poison claws. Fujiki, on the other hand, must battle another of Kengyo's men who carries a gun. After firing, he turns to run from Fujiki as his bullet was blocked. Fujiki kills him. Iriko comes to the Kogan dojo under the guise that he is there to deliver a gift to Master Kogan. Iriko and Iku perform for Master Kogan. However, this is only so Iriko can test the floor for his technique. After the dance, Iku shows him her tattoo, which depicts a tiger being killed by a dragon. In his anger, Kogan slices the dragon from Iku's back. 2 pupils of the Kogan style stand to protect the master as he cuts them down himself. Iriko prepares to battle the master as they take the fight outside. Iriko prepares to fight the tiger that is Master Kogan. However, as Kogan looks on at the blind Iriko, he sees a dragon in his place. Iriko takes his certain victory stance, and Kogan prepares to perform the Nagaraboshi. As they have a tense standoff after they both attack, Mei comes out in white to declare today her happiest to her father. As she does this, Iriko stabs Kogan, dealing the final blow to his life. Fujiki comes and sees the mess and begins sucking the master's blood out and spitting it, possibly in a panic, seeing his master dead. Ushimata comes 7 days later to see that the dojo is shut down as Master Kogan is dead. He cries at the loss of his master. As we see Iriko in front of a lord, he asks to see his technique, which Iriko has named Mumyo Sakanagare, where the anime ends. My favorite character was Iriko. He seemed the most interesting to me, not knocking Fujiki, but he wasn't as captivating of a character to me. I saw how much he cared for Mei and the Kogan style, and that was his whole character to me. He didn't give me anything to care about him for, if that makes any sense. Like, he didn't give me a reason to care. And that's fine. Possibly when I review the manga, my feelings may change about Fujiki. The worst character for me was possibly Lady Iku. She was just kind of there. I mean, she was an important part of the plan, I guess, because she distracted Master Kogan momentarily. I don't know why she was there, really. She was just kind of sleeping around with everybody, and that's cool, but she didn't really impact the story at all. The music wasn't anything crazy here. There aren't any bops to add to your playlist. I'm gonna give the dull romance to this anime. Everyone involved with someone in this anime, it was all just sex. No one was really interested in anyone else. Nobody really loved anyone in this anime. Fujiki loves Mei, but Mei doesn't reciprocate those feelings, I guess, until later on in the anime. And Lady Iku likes Iriko, but Iriko doesn't give a fuck about her, right? The animation is amazing to me. It's one of the main reasons I decided to watch this anime. I love how much they accentuate a scene using red. Everything will just go black and white, and then all of a sudden you'll see something red within that scene, whether it be blood, whether it be a dragonfly, whether it be a sword, or it's always something, okay? It's always something. And it's beautiful to me. I like how they'll change a scene to intensify it. For example, the twins, Funaki's twin sons, they fused together to form one demon. It probably showed how well they've trained together, and so much so that they probably feel as though they're one unit. You know what I'm saying? Okay, the story was decent. Now, this anime only covers, I believe, the first 32 chapters, but it was still alright. It was still pretty good to watch. It's not like I was missing anything. I didn't feel like I was missing anything, at least, even though I've only checked out the anime and I have not read the manga yet. I'm gonna give gore a 10 here. There was a lot of blood and death in this anime. It didn't feel unnecessary, right? Everything felt justified. It's not like people were dying out of nowhere for no fucking reason, right? In summary, I actually enjoyed the anime, as it did keep me guessing the first time I saw it, and it does have me interested in the manga, since the anime is only an adaptation of the first 32 chapters. Altogether, I put this anime in the C tier. It was enjoyable. I think it does hold up for its time, even though this anime was released in 2007. I'm watching it in 2022, and it's pretty smacking. Like, this anime was very enjoyable. I suggest you add it to your watch list and check it out for yourself. That's all for me, and I'll catch you on the next one.
The moon is beautiful hanging in the sky.